Hi everyone, so I just wanted to give you a quick update on how I'm getting on. So I'm now on day 9 of my second cycle, which means I've had all of the treatment for this cycle now. So hopefully that means I'm halfway through. And I've got a PET scan now booked in for the 3rd of July, which will determine how far I'm along with my treatment now. So all being well, God willing, hopefully everything will come through fine. The chemotherapy will be working beautifully, which I think that it is. And that will mean that I've just got 2 more cycles to do, which will mean that I'm halfway through. So I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really positive still. um, as usual, the first few days of the cycle, so day 1, which is a long day, was particularly difficult in the evening. I felt really, really rough. I was quite sick. The second and third days weren't as bad, but I did feel a little bit rough. And then I just kind of picked up from there. Yesterday was fine, really. I just felt very tired in the evening. So that's my 4 days of treatment done. And now I can rest up and recuperate and get stronger. So mentally and physically, I'm feeling really strong still. In particular, what's really been helping me is all my kind of meditation and healing work that I'm doing on myself. So it's really nice to have the time to do that. I'm still being a bit of a hermit because although my immune system is actually doing better than the last cycle, it's still best just to be on the safe side and just keep away from everybody as much as I can, as much as I don't want to. It just really helps to keep my immune system strong. Um, so since my last video, I have actually had my head shaved. So this is actually a wig that I have on at the moment. It's really quite a nice wig, I think. It's very comfortable. It just doesn't bother me. So what started to happen, I think it was about day 14 of cycle 1, my hair up until that point showed no signs of falling at all. I started to wonder really if it was going to happen at all. And then I noticed I had some plaits in one day. And you know how you get a few strands of hair and you just kind of pull them out. And I kept pulling. I thought, oh, hang on a minute, this is like really starting to fall. So I thought, okay, so the process is starting. It'll probably take about a week or so, maybe. That evening it's a little bit worse, and the next day I really, really noticed it. So I brushed my hair and it looked like a cuddly toy because it was just saturated in hair. And I quickly realised that it was better really just to get on and shave my head rather than experience that, because that's the hardest part. Seeing your hair come out in clumps isn't nice. Um, so Lee went and got some new razors, new shaver, and he did it for me. He was brilliant, and he was so supportive. To be honest with you, it just felt like emancipation once I'd shaved it off. I was taking control and empowering myself with the help of Lee to just say, well, you know, the hair's going to go and it's going to go eventually, so I'm not going to hang on to every little wisp until it's all gone. That's more traumatic. So instead, I'm just going to shave it off and it will grow back. And it's really not all that terrifying, really. So I've got a couple of different wigs that I've been wearing. I've got a bob and I've got this one. I've tried a few different others, but I've ended up sending them back because they just don't quite look right. But what I will say to anybody who's going through chemo, losing their hair, you don't necessarily need to spend a lot. I mean, this wig was quite expensive. It was a couple of hundred. It's synthetic, but it's quite real looking. And I do find that with this one, I've had a couple of friends and family have seen me who have kind of forgotten that it's not my own hair. I've been chatting to them, mentioned about the head shaving experience, and they've been like, "Oh yeah, so that's not your hair. I kind of forgot." Um, Whereas the bob that I have, it's a cheaper one. It was like about £15 off Amazon, and I bought it just to go out walking the dog really. But I find that I wear it pretty much every day. I really like it. I've had some lovely, lovely compliments. People saying you should have your hair like that when it actually grows back. So that's really nice. So yeah, it's good just to try a few different ones, see what works for you. But yeah, it's really all not that scary. So far so good, and I'm just excited that I'm potentially halfway through the treatment. I'm getting some side effects, but they're quite subtle. So my stomach was kind of quite sore for a few days, although it seems to have really settled now actually and seems to be quite strong. Um, my tongue has been so dry and coated. I won't show you, but I'll describe it. It's white and it's rippled around the edges, which is pretty freaky. But it doesn't bother me too much because it hasn't put me off my food and my taste buds are still good. Cravings are a massive, massive thing. So I just suddenly get just such a strong cravings for certain foods. I know I mentioned this in the last video. So I think you just got to go with what your body's telling you. I'm eating so many vegetables as well. Kind of stodgy foods, rice, potatoes. The other day I had potato curry with rice and naan bread, so proper carb loading because I need lots of energy. But also I've been eating lots of fruit, not really eating many sugary things like cakes and chocolates and things like that. And I think that's really helping kind of build my system up and keep my system strong as well. Loads and loads of water still. So nothing really that new to report, apart from my hair. And I shall update you again soon. And thank you for all your love and support as always. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.